Cold email is one of the most effective ways to generate more leads and close more deals and get you more revenue so you can hit your quotas. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the best strategies that I found when it comes to cold emailing, some strategies on how you should be reaching out to people, how often you should be reaching out, and when you should be reaching out so that you know exactly what to do and exactly what to say when you are doing your outbound. Now, before we get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And let's go ahead and dive into these lead generation tips. Now, the first thing that I got to cover is this. You got to send emails every single day. So the problem that I see a lot of salespeople run into is that, they'll send like 20 emails here and there, and they'll be like, oh my God, nobody's responding to me. My product sucks and this is that. And really, they're just making excuses. So you want to be consistent, you want to be disciplined, and you want to have that attitude that you are sending emails every single day. Typically, I like to do Monday through Friday, sometimes on Sunday nights. That does get some responses as well. But generally, if you're not doing the weekends, Monday to Friday. And of course, during this time, you want to definitely use some kind of email tool so that you can automate these things so that you're not waking up at 6 a.m. and sending it, but you're actually just scheduling it, and then the machines and everything do the work for you, or software, I should say. Now, one of the key challenges when it comes to sending these emails is that a lot of times when you're sending the email from one email account, sometimes your account might be flagged by certain email providers saying that, hey, maybe you're sending too many, maybe you're spamming, and sometimes they reduce your ability to send these emails and get them delivered to the right inboxes. And this is actually where our sponsor for today's video comes into play, and they are going to be called MailForge, right? So MailForge is a company and tool that allows you to create a number of emails very cheaply. So a lot of different domains. So if your domain is patrickdang.com, it'll create patrickdang.io, patrickdang.this, and so many different variations that you can use to send your emails. Not only that, but within each domain, you can have different email addresses so that you're sending it from different people, right? And so what it looks like is you have all these different domains, all different people sending out emails, so that if you only send it from one, you're going to get flagged, and then eventually you might get banned and all these problems may arise. But if you're doing mass cold emailing, especially if you are part of a sales team, by having all these different domains and different names and things like that, you can send these emails very safely without worrying about, oh, if my account gets banned, it's going to ruin my email, because you have so many that you kind of work around the system. And so that's where MailForge really comes in. It's a very inexpensive way to do this. If you were to do it like on Gmail or something by yourself, it takes a lot of time to set things up, and it takes a lot of mental bandwidth to even manage all these emails. But with this tool, it's very, very simple. So if you want to get started with MailForge, you can actually click the link in the description of this video to learn more about how you can use this for your business and generate more leads. When it comes to sending these emails, right? A second tip that I have for you is that you want to be doing A/B testing, because you want to constantly improve your messaging, your subject lines, your body with every campaign. You don't want to send the same thing over and over and over and get a low response rate and wonder why, like, hey, how come nobody's responding to my email? What's the deal? You want to test why they're not responding, right? Could it be the wording, your unique value proposition, the way you're inserting the pain into the email so that the customer evokes some kind of emotion when they are reading your message? All of these things need to be greatly considered when you are doing outbound, right? And so A/B testing is one of the most important things. And the two things you need to A/B test is, number one, the subject line, of course. That's the most obvious, right? Because that's your open rate. If nobody opens your email, nobody's going to read it. The second thing you have to A/B test is parts of your body, whether it's your pain, your unique proposition, the solution, your call to action. There are multiple parts of an email, and you can swap out each one to see which one works best for you. And once the numbers start going up, from there, you want to take something that's successful and change it up a little bit to see if that will increase the response rate. So your goal is to constantly increase your response rate over time. Now, what is a good response rate? It depends on the industry, depends on the sale. It always just depends, but just know that you want to keep increasing your open rates as well as your response rates and your close rates as you continue down the line to get more deals closed. The third tip that I actually have for you is you want to follow up, right? Following up is so incredibly important. In fact, when you send the first email, the second follow-up that you have when the person doesn't respond, that might have a similar response as the first one. When you send another follow-up, that might have a similar response. So basically, you're stacking these response rates with every follow-up that you send. You can send 4 follow-ups, 7 follow-ups, or if it's a very strategic partner, you could follow up for the next few years, because if that deal closes, it might change your life. So depending on the type of sale that you have, you definitely always want to follow up. The important part of following up is you don't want to be discouraged. So like I said before in the beginning, a lot of people, they send these emails, and then what happens is they don't get the response they want. People get rejected. They say, stop emailing me. And you never want to take it to heart. You never want to take it the wrong way. Understand sales is partially being smart and increasing your conversions, but also a numbers game, right? Not everybody is going to say yes. And that's why you pitch, get better until someone understands your value and then takes you up on your offer and buys your product and service. So to really succeed in cold emailing, you have to be mentally strong. You cannot just expect everyone to buy your product. You have to convince them with all your heart why your product is the best, why they are a good fit. And the more confident and you are in yourself and your products and services that you're selling, the more confident they are going to be in you, and your response is just going to go through the roof. Now, bonus tip I have for you salespeople out there is that you want to call them, right? So calling is really interesting because it depends on your industry. It depends what's normal for your market. But if you're in a market, an industry where calling is a very common thing, you want to double up, right? You want to do cold emails and you want to call, right? So you can call them and be like, hey, John, how's it going? This is Patrick from XYZ company. I actually sent you an email earlier. I want to follow up to see, and then, you continue down the line. And of course, I have many videos about how to cold call and things like that, which you can check out on my channel. So I'm not going to go too deep into that, but calling and cold emailing is a powerful strategy because the more times you kind of like have some kind of contact with a customer, the more likely they are to respond. When you see someone so often, you're like, hey, like, who is this again, right? So you want to kind of create that feeling. Now, in different industries, different channels might work, right? So for, let's say, crypto, for example, Twitter is a really big thing. So if you hit someone up on Twitter and you have some kind of following, then they're more likely to respond. And no one's going to pick up your phone call if they're in crypto. That's a weird thing to cold call. But if you hit them up on Twitter, then their chance of responding is much higher. So you want to really think about, in your industry, look around your competition, look around your peers to see what is working there. You want to replicate that success. You don't have to always reinvent the wheel. If you're just a rep at a company, like, you're not innovating, right? You just have to do the job, stay consistent, stay disciplined, hit the numbers, and constantly improve month after month, and then you will get to your goals. So with that said, that's everything we got to cover for today in our lead generation strategies. Now, if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you learned anything new. And thank you to our sponsors, MailForge. Check out the link in the description if you want to create those email domains and everything like that, so that your account can continue sending emails day after day in mass volumes. With that said, my name is Patrick Deng, and I will see you in the next one.